Here's the last write-up with all anchor bits and any similar in-text ads or tags removed. Saints will regret desperate Tyler Shough decision sooner rather than later. The New Orleans Saints predictably settled on Louisville's Tyler Shough in the second round of April's NFL draft. We knew this was coming as soon as Jackson Dart went to the Giants. With Shedeur Sanders tumbling and the only other reasonably compelling QB prospects off the board, New Orleans, perhaps the neediest QB team of all, felt compelled to roll the dice on a battle-tested college star in Shough. Well, the Saints are doubling down on that commitment now, giving Shough a fully guaranteed $10.95 million contract per ESPN's Adam Schefter. It's historically uncommon for second-round picks to receive fully guaranteed rookie contracts, although that narrative is quickly changing in 2025. Shough in particular feels like a gamble, though. He arrives in the NFL as a 26-year-old rookie with 3 separate season-ending injuries on his resume. He spent 7 years in college and only managed to start more than 7 games in a season once. That was last season, when he threw for 3,195 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions in 12 starts for Louisville. Saints are putting all their eggs in the wrong basket with Tyler Shough. Shough was good for the Cardinals, but come on. We've seen too many prospects in Shough's mold bomb at the NFL level. He's way too old and somehow doesn't really have the experience. He accumulated plenty of starts over 7 years in college, but Shough was never healthy and only became a full season starter in 2024. That ought to concern the Saints just a little bit. He also isn't as polished as you'd like your 26-year-old rookie to be. Shough has the advantage of learning several different schemes over the years, so he should pick up on the Saints' playbook rather quickly. But how well he executes that playbook is another matter entirely. The Ringer's Danny Kelly ranked Shough 84th on his draft board and laid out the myriad concerns. Shough frequently falls or fades away from throws when pressure is in his face, causing the ball to flutter or float en route to his target. His skittish footwork affects his accuracy. He is at times late on throws, leaving the ball a touch behind receivers so they have to slow down for it. He has suffered separate season-ending collarbone, shoulder, and leg injuries and will be a 26-year-old rookie. There are positives, too. Kelly cites Shough's mobility and arm strength, but the execution level just wasn't as sharp as you'd expect from such an old, experienced college star. Shough fits into an archetype the league values, and the Saints need an NFL-ready quarterback like a fish needs water. But Shough's ceiling is inherently limited, and if he doesn't ace his professional debut, hands in New Orleans are going to start getting sweaty. Saints are out of other options after Tyler Shough. Contract. Shough gets his fully guaranteed contract, and in doing so becomes the clear frontrunner to start under center for the Saints in 2025. Derek Carr's sudden retirement left a gaping void in the QB room that can no longer be filled via free agency. Unless New Orleans feels strongly about Carson Wentz or another veteran, their best options, even if mediocre, are on the current roster. Former 4th-round pick Jake Haener and 5th-round pick Spencer Rattler will compete with Shough in training camp. Rattler appeared to gain the edge on Haener last season. As a former top recruit, there was palpable excitement around his pick in 2024, but neither performed particularly well in that limited sample. So Shough has the inside track, deserving or not. The Saints aren't going to win many games this season, so Arch Manning is on a lot of minds right now, but it's clear New Orleans views Shough as the long-term answer for now. Let's see how that gamble pays off. The Saints' decision to hand a fully guaranteed $10.95 million rookie contract to 26-year-old Tyler Shough feels more like desperation than conviction, and it may backfire sooner rather than later. A college grinder with question marks. Age and durability. Shough spent 7 years in college, yet only once started more than 7 games in a season. His lone healthy stretch in 2024 at Louisville. Before that, he suffered season-ending collarbone, shoulder, and leg injuries. At 26, he's an outlier among rookies and carries a red flag resume. Sure, Shough slung for 3,195 yards, 23 TDs, and 6 INTs last year, but his accuracy under pressure remains shaky. Evaluators note his tendency to float throws under duress, skittish footwork that disrupts timing, and late delivery, forcing receivers to adjust. Those are teachable traits, but at his age, you'd hope they'd be more polished. 2. Fully guaranteed in round 2, a rare show of faith. Traditionally, second-round rookies don't get full guarantees. Teams protect themselves in later rounds. By doing so, New Orleans effectively signaled, "We believe in Ty," even without a pro day that dazzled or elite-level tape. That financial commitment also limits cap flexibility, constraining ability to upgrade surrounding weapons or shore up the OL. The QB room thin ice for competition. Both failed to inspire in limited 2024 reps. Rattler, a former top recruit, slipped underwhelmingly, while Hayner's consistency never materialized. Neither offer credible veteran fallback, meaning Shough's slow start could leave the Saints scrambling midseason for a stopgap. No free agent safety net. With Derek Carr retired and Carson Wentz's stock uncertain, New Orleans has virtually zero external options once camp closes. They've doubled down on Shough by default, not design. 4. Why the gamble may cost New Orleans. Ceiling versus urgency. The Saints needed a quarterback who could step in day one. Instead, they drafted a developmental project with middling upside. The result? A season where short-term pain, likely more losses, springs from a lack of immediate competence under center. Missed Arch Manning window. Rumors swirl that the Saints covet the Manning heir when the 2026 draft arrives. By burning picks and slotting Shough into a long-term role now, they risk losing the cap space and draft capital it would take to leap into the top picks for Manning or another blue-chip passer. Tar 5. Doom loop scenario. If Shough struggles, which history and tape suggest is probable, New Orleans could resign Carr or trade midseason, incurring further sunk costs. Alternatively, they could wait to pivot next spring, but by then, rollover cap hits and roster churn will hamper their chances of landing a franchise quarterback. The Saints have, in Tyler Shough, a fully guaranteed gamble on a veteran rookie whose profile screams long-term project, not week one starter. In a division where offenses dominate, that disconnect between team urgency and player readiness sets New Orleans up for frustration. Unless Shough improbably becomes a quick study star, this reckless commitment could haunt the Saints, ushering in ugly losses, contentious midseason pivots, and another lost year when the franchise can least afford it. Here's the last write-up with all anchor bits and any similar in-text ads or tags removed. Saints will regret desperate Tyler Shough decisions sooner rather than later. The New Orleans Saints predictably settled on Louisville's Tyler Shough in the second round of April's NFL draft. We knew this was coming as soon as Jackson Dart went to the Giants. With Shedeur Sanders tumbling and the only other reasonably compelling QB prospects off the board, New Orleans, perhaps the neediest QB team of all, felt compelled to roll the dice on a battle-tested college star in Shough.